Hello and welcome to Saturday by Night. We are the Story Speakers Guild bringing you roleplay entertainment. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome from Entitled Princess.
Good evening, everyone.
So, where we last left. Well, who wants to do a recap for me?
Well, I think that Victor doesn't remember what happened, because he's eccentric and all. Expects other people to remember for him.
I could always give a recap. I just can't promise it's going to be what you want it to recap.
I'm sure it will always be interesting, though.
Well, Jessica introduced Ron the Knob. There was a whole group discussion about James Garrett and the trust of him or not. We ended up deciding to make a coterie to work the issue of the Sabbat and exclude our findings from James Garrett because we don't trust him.
And what's the name of your coterie?
The Doorknobs.
That's right.
Yeah. We also had plans to utilize Veronica at her next monthly meeting, in which Torrin got permission to be an escort bodyguard type thing, so we can get inside and see what's going on. And we are ultimately going to try and elevate Victor to Primogen of his clan, in which he promised to aid the my clan in becoming more legitimate in the city of Chicago. Oh, and Rick Williams had a mind suggestion put on him so that his loose tongue doesn't get us in
Oh, I'm sure it still will, especially since the direction was not to say anything about what he's heard, which still would totally allow him to write anything he's heard. But I don't know if he'll think about that, so we'll see. You guys might be safe.
And Victor also began blood bonding. Oh hell, what was her name? The prisoner.
Veronica.
Prisoner?
Veronica.
I don't have a prisoner. It's a guest.
You guys are protecting her, clearly looking out for her.
She has the VIP suite in the place.
Yeah, in the horsey place.
Yeah, it's the human suite.
Yeah, it's where the human horses live.
Did Torrin ever do those roles for talking to the church?
No, I tried to talk to him about it and everybody interrupted, so we never got to it.
Correct.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well then, not sorry.
You know, I'm gonna remember that, Bob.
See, there's more than one princess at this table. I'm just saying.
So you have a background for influences in the church. I think that's going to be your best kind of route there. So go ahead and roll. Probably, unless you're trying to be like sneaky, or not like sneaky, but like manipulative about it. which I don't think is really the approach that you need here. I think charisma makes a little more sense. So your influences with charisma.
So just roll charisma only.
No, you're actually going to roll the influences background. Oh, I guess it doesn't have like a rolling thing there. So roll a charisma and then add 3 to the like modifier thing.
Okay.
For some reason, I doubt you have that many.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. Sorry for the quiet. You have a few too many dice there.
Torin, click the die by your charisma. Do not select the second attribute, and then put in the number 3.
Okay, there. That looks right. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, I totally spaced. I forgot what you were trying to get from the church.
Some property that might be sufficient for the dispensary that we're gonna buy.
Yeah, that's right. Are you sharing with them what your plans are for it?
The church.
Yeah. Like, are
No.
you telling them that you're gonna make this into a dispensary?
No.
Okay.
The church, if they're willing to sell the property for the money, is just straight up a transaction.
Okay. So they, after like talking around for a little bit, you end up finding out that there is a small property for sale. It's not been used for a while, like it's been boarded up, so they're not sure, like how great the state of it is, but it hasn't been so long where it's like in complete disrepair. Were you trying to target a certain area, or are you just kind of looking for whatever?
Well, we determined that there were clubs in 3 of the other geographic districts of the city, so I would thought that we were going for the one that didn't have.
Because we're going to expand into a distillery club.
Well, I
Yeah.
think what we said was there were basically the 3 major clubs in Chicago were in the north, and I think just scattered basically throughout the loop.
Yeah, and we didn't want to necessarily compete directly against any of those clubs initially because it would be hard to get us a foot. So outside of their sphere of influence, I thought, well, now what we discussed.
It is.
So yeah. And it'd be convenient if it was a commercially zoned property.
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm just taking a quick peek at a map here.
While she takes a quick peep at a map, how are you going to contact Jessica? She's the one who said she's willing to put down the money for this place.
Well, I'm going to arrange a what do you call it? A tour for the investors.
Actually, wait, I forgot. Duh, this is the coterie thing. We have 9 points of resources to invest in this.
Right, and I'm not going to do the investing. I will get the group together before all I'm doing is looking for a place.
So yeah, then you need to get a hold of me, Bob, Jessica. Who else threw in? Did Carlotta pay up?
Yep.
So Carlotta.
So yeah, I would have my cabbie guy do all the technical reach out.
So we all get a text from his cabbie is what I'm hearing.
And Torin, I'm going to say that the property is in Wicker Park.
Wicker Park?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I get Robbie to send contact text with the location that I think that the rest of the group would want to investigate or to see possible place to set up.
So it's in Wicker Park. So the name of our dispensary will be Light Your Wick.
I'm putting that as the name.
Not dip your wick.
We're not making candles.
Oh, my bad.
Although that would be an interesting way to do things.
A bunch of vampires own a candle shop.
I mean, we have a dispensary. That's almost as bad, to be honest.
I mean, but you could do edibles, you could do, like, vaping. There's a lot of things you can do that don't involve fire. Candles pretty much just involve fire. So I guess, like, the dispensary is kind of useless to you guys now that I think about it, because, yeah,
We could feed off the herd that will be generated from there.
that's true.
And it's just about the revenue.
Also true.
I mean, the people that I know from Illinois would be great customers to this place, so I think we're doing. Just saying.
And while we might not be a candle shop, we could specialize in weed candles.
Well, you guys got a little time before you're going to be able to open anyway, so you have plenty of time to decide what types of products you'd like to offer.
Yeah, I
Indeed.
believe we were opening a cafe first.
Yeah, because we're gonna need to lobby and whatnot the politics so that we can actually let people do things there. I'm hoping that our Ventru will be able to help with that.
I mean, I can see the Toreador helping too.
Either of them. Or our good old Father Torin. Church always leads to politics.
Pot priest.
I can
Man,
help, I
PP.
swear.
I mean, we are into incense in church, I'm just saying.
What kind of church you going to where you're letting your brothers marry sisters and stuff?
Incense, not incest.
Whoa! Okay. leave it to the people from Virginia to go there.
West Virginia.
Clarify.
I was
If we
born
have
in
any
Virginia.
viewers from Virginia or West Virginia, I apologize.
We're just funning.
Too late.
And that's when we lose half of our viewership.
Damn it, every time.
I'm leaving now.
Okay, so you guys end up getting a text, I think. What exactly are you sharing with them, Torn? Are you basically saying, like, this is, like, the property that I have an opportunity on? Or are you just calling for a meeting? What are you thinking here?
I instruct Robbie to send a text saying promising property for new business. Come see.
So you have him text us that, or did you just say you texted that?
I have him text it.
Okay.
If I text that shit, I'm pretty sure I will start the apocalypse. There's too many digits.
That might be fun too.
I'm sorry, we can't do that, Dave.
Oh, can I interrupt for a quick aside?
You are the game master.
You're a queen bee.
I still want to make sure that you guys are fine with it. But so, and this is also good for like having on stream. So I don't think I've gotten to all of you yet, but I've talked to most of you so far about doing a Valentine's Day special side scene, side quest extravaganza. That sounds like more dramatic than it actually is, but I still want to do like something on Valentine's Day. I don't think I got to talk to Torin yet, but I think the rest of you I have talked to. So we're thinking Friday evening we'd get together to just like do something that's not really related to like the main story or anything. We'll just kind of have like a fun little like side thing that doesn't really tie into other stuff. Well, depending on where it goes, like maybe it could, but the intent is not to really like be into the main story of what we do on Saturdays.
Yeah, sorry. I already have a Friday game that I play.
Oh, okay. All right.
Bummer.
Well, yeah, that is a bummer. But we weren't going to have everybody anyway, so I was just trying to see how many people I could rally together. So Mom and Bob, I think you guys said you could be around, was it 7 or 8 our time?
Around 8 your time. Oh,
Is that doable for you, Devil?
Yeah, I'm home all day.
Okay, perfect. So, there we go, everybody. 8 p.m. Central Time, Friday night. Come join us. Valentine's Day special, surprise, side quest, side scene, extravagant. I'm just going to keep adding words. But come have fun with us. It'll be great. All right, back to... Wait, why are you... What? Why are you frenzying?
come commando. Be there or be square.
Valentine's has really got him going.
So, are we all on agreement that this is a good property for this, guys?
Sure.
Have we gone to look at it?
We can say we have. The whole point of this is that this was something on the side we did before what we're supposed to do tonight.
Then that sounds good. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, we're good.
looking good.
Alright then I think we would like to invest our millions of dollars into this property, Storyteller.
So, like I said, this place is it has been kind of like closed down for a little while. So it's not necessarily like the most expensive property up front. Not to say that it's like super cheap, but it's not the most like it's not the largest like upfront expense. Go ahead.
Something we need to know before we buy it. What are the surrounding businesses like?
That's a great question. I wish I knew the city better. I should know the city better. But whatever. It's a game. we don't have to be too overly realistic. So there are some kind of like more like modern bars, basically. Like they're a little more I don't know, kind of hipstery, I guess I would call it. There's a couple like trendy coffee shops, and like a few streets over, there's like a street of boutique shops. So there's a lot of kind of like little like restaurants and stuff like that. It's kind of a trendy little area in general. So you know, there's smoothie places. There's a couple vegan spots. But like generally, there isn't really kind of like a big club scene here.
But the most important thing about this area is the Girl Scouts of America have their headquarters for their cookies right next door to us. Because when they eat all those cookies, they'll want to come visit us right after.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Also, it's a prime place to expand.
Correct.
Alright, I'm good for getting it.
Alright, let's pour some 9 resources into this place.
Pretty sure we won't need 9 resources.
That's
Well,
right.
We also gotta buy stuff for the dispensary, you know.
The panic room, all that stuff.
Yeah, panic room.
This
So we
Uh,
had a whole discussion of how we're making the basement up for this to be a fortress.
Indeed,
Remember-
it substitutes as a haven for us to sleep in as well.
Correct. The front is the shop. The rest of the good stuff happens underground.
So it will cost you 3 resources up front to acquire the property and everything that you kind of, you know, need to like fully close the deal.
Cool.
That is still 6 for our overhead and building things.
It's not like a terribly small property either. Like it's not huge, but it's not like terribly small. You guys have a little bit of land with it. I'm not really good with like
So what you're saying is
like
we have a
knowing
place.
property details though.
We have a place for our dog to roam. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a huge patch of land because you know, it's the city. All right, so you guys can go ahead and start that buying process. I don't think that's something that occurs in one night, so we'll probably save that next time that we come together. You guys will actually be in possession of this property.
Yay!
So, unless anybody else has kind of like a setup thing, I think it's a good time to do a rouse check.
Uh-oh.
High five, Jessica. We're in control tonight.
Yeah! Control!
Torin,
Don't you
you're
know?
at number
Torin.
4.
You need to fucking eat.
Don't you know? I'm in control of the chaos.
We're going to Elysium. I will partake there.
That's a good idea.
We'll just say that I find something legal.
So, Torin, as you wake up, the beast is just like mocking you. You can feel like it almost feels like heat, like burning in your guts because you're so like hungry. You're so riled up, and it starts, like kind of mocking and whispering, what's wrong? Can't hunt.
What, Torin?
I didn't say nothing.
That was Bob, and that was scary.
I've been hanging around Bob too much. I need to go kill a girl, but I'm not going to.
Is that what you say to your beast?
Yes. I said, we're going to Elysium. Now.
Let's make a bloody mess of it. Victor, as you get up, you are also feeling more hungry, but I don't think you're at hunger 4. So you just. Oh my. Carlotta, you too. You both wake up, and you just hear your beasts each whispering, Hunt. It's time to hunt.
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Man, that high five with Joseph means a lot more now.
I know, right?
Make sure those of you who failed, you increase your hunger on your sheet.
So, as I wake up, I will go and see what room Jessica's in.
Oogie barks at you.
I'm gonna
I pick him up.
say she's in the pool room.
I go into the pool room holding Oogie under an arm.
Yeah, by a pool room, it's a room that looks like it could be a swimming pool, except it has a huge billiard table in the center.
An interesting way to play pool, Jessica.
I mean, yes. It's much more entertaining when the size matters.
I see. Are you prepared for going to Elysium then?
Is that what we're doing today? Oh, I thought that was another day. Yeah, we can go to Elysium. That'd be fun. What are we doing there again? I forget.
We're levying our information to try to help our good friend Victor become primogenitor of his clan.
Oh, that's right. All right, sure. Anything you need, or do you want to take the car? We could tell the driver that we're not taking the car, and then just take it anyway.
We could.
Yeah.
We probably should take the car.
Probably should take. Okay. I wonder if Pilot can drive.
Try asking him.
Huh. So yeah, I will go find the cook.
You can find, it's a woman, right? I forgot the name.
cook is male. His name is Pilot.
Okay. So you find him, surprise, surprise, in the kitchen.
Pilot! Smells lovely in here. By the way, can you drive?
Yeah, I know how to drive.
Lovely, we're stealing the car.
Well, it's your car, so it's not stealing.
Good point. Okay, we're borrowing the car from myself.
Are we leaving right now?
Well, that was the plan, yeah. Do you have something cooking? Is that why it smells good?
Yeah, it's pretty much done though. I'll just leave a note for the others and turn everything off, and he kind of goes around, turning the oven off, and you see him like write a quick note, and like cover up, what he had, what he had been cooking, and grabs the keys for the car.
Cool.
What?
Cool. I'll sneak out to go get in the car when he pulls up with it.
And Joseph, I assume you're following?
Of course. And I'll send a text in a group text to everyone, including Torrin's driver, because that's who I include in the group text instead of Torrin.
Very good.
That will all meet up in Elysium.
Torrin's already there.
Torrin, you're going through standard route for what you're doing, right?
Yep.
So that is gonna cost you a resource.
Okay.
I'm gonna respond to the text with what's that?
Don't worry, is what I reply back.
I look over to him. Huh. I don't usually.
Here's the real question: how are you texting back?
I say it out loud. Siri, text back. What's that? You get a text right next to me.
That's great.
And you get a text, and you get a text.
Robbie texts to let you guys know that Torrin made it to Elysium pretty much immediately upon wake.
Alright, and with that, I'm going to leave Tex alone and just take our ride to Elysium. And just take our ride to Elysium. And with that, I'll be right back, as the dog really seems to need to go. So the rest of you wake up and head to Elysium.
If there was a direct route to the Elysium, I found it tonight. It was definitely not Jessica's way of getting around.
I mean, for all you know, Jessica's way might be the most direct way.
Only from her perception.
I mean, there's a chance that she would just take the most direct route. It's just not a great chance.
Also, there's a chance that she takes the most direct route because if she took a different route, it would take more time because something would happen.
There is that.
So what you're saying is you have to take the route without doorknobs.
I mean, that's an improbability. There's always a good doorknob.
I have a question, though. Do we need permission from the prince for forming the coterie?
No! The idea
No.
is not to tell him nothing.
I realize that, but is that I guess what I'm trying to get at is there a way of anybody finding out that we formed this coterie? Does something happen to us that gives us some special abilities or something, or is this just a hangout thing?
It's not exactly just a hangout thing, but it's not like you guys went through some magical transformation or something like that. Over time, it might start to draw more attention. Because, like, really, like, this isn't anything, like, magical or, like, supernatural in the sense of, like, something happened. It's more that you guys are almost making, like, a commitment in building this relationship with each other. And so you start pulling the resources of, old beings, right? Some of them could be ancient. And you can start to accumulate a lot of power, a lot of leverage, a lot of wealth, right? And the idea is kind of over time, you guys start to have such like influence in your area that it makes things easier for you, right? That's what a lot of I forget which one. I want to say lean maybe. Like that's a big thing for that. So it'll draw attention in the sense that other vampires might see like how much you guys are accomplishing as a coterie over time. But it's not something where it's like, oh my gosh, they clearly just made a coterie. I can see it in their aura or something like that.
Okay, all right, cool.
So Victor and Carlotta, we haven't heard a ton from you. Are you guys got these same texts? Are you guys heading to Elysium? You have something you're doing beforehand? Are you texting each other or the group or
I'm actually getting ready to head to Elysium.
Victor prepares for the evening and sends out a text that he will see the rest of the group at Elysium.
lovely?
Unless anyone needs a ride.
Again, Jessica will respond with, "What is this?"
Victor responds with, "All shall be revealed in time."
Ba-dum-tsh. Alright, so you guys are getting ready and then you're heading over to Elysium, so unless you're doing any like particularly extravagant preparations, you guys are all probably going to arrive around similar times, with the exception of Torin, who beat all of you there. We'll say tonight everyone is gathering at Blue Velvet. Mom, if you were trying to say something, you came through very choppy.
I'm sorry. Someone had come. As long as it's not the Blue Oyster. And I had inappropriately burst out laughing.
Okay. So as you guys arrive at Blue Velvet, it's typically not as loud and like packed as the Succubus Club. It has a little bit of a like kind of quieter vibe to it, but it's definitely still like you could tell that people are being drawn in. It's not that it's quieter because of a lack of attendance. Um, it's dark inside, but there's a lot of people. And there's kind of like a side area that you can go into, which is where you'll typically find Elysium. And then, similar as Succubus Club, the kind of main area is open to either mortals or kindred.
It might take Joseph and Jessica a bit of extra time to get there themselves because Jessica's gonna go buy new phones with money, cash.
Okay, that's totally fine.
hmm
Are you getting like smartphones, or are these like cheaper phones?
they're within reason phones. They have functionality, but they're not the latest, bestest stuff.
Are they real?
Yes.
Okay.
To everyone else,
Yes.
just checking.
It is a fair question, Devil.
They are smartphones and they can, read texts and text for me, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's not hard technology to get nowadays. Yeah, so you could do that no problem. It's not really, anything that's difficult for you. So it will delay you a little bit, but
Yeah.
you face no obstacle doing so.
Yep. And I will break my old phone and, trash it completely.
Okay. Are you advising Joseph to do the same?
Yeah.
Okay. He's out with the dog still, but I'll make sure to make a mental note to check in with him once he gets. So, Carlotta and Victor, you guys arrive at Blue Velvet. Torrin's inside. I believe he's in the Kindred area. If I'm wrong, please correct me, Torrin.
Say it again.
Are you in the Kindred only area of Blue Velvet?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I still have humanity issues from the last feeding I had, so I'm doing everything I can not to repeat.
That's a good idea.
Victor heads for the kindred only area as well because he's feeling a bit peckish.
Okay. How much hunger are you looking to satiate?
I'm at 3. I should probably satiate 2 dots because I want to be on my best this evening as I start my bid for Primogen.
Yep, so you can do that pretty easily. Similar to ordering at a bar, you pay a fee and you can
But
drink
Victor, your
from.
best is drinking 3 dots.
Get thee behind me.
So you can pay a fee to basically have them provide somebody for you to feed from, or if you want to try to go after someone yourself in the club, you technically could do that, but it's not, you know.
Oh no, Victor's being very careful is with that. He's going to pay the club to supply him.
All right. So you're able to do that. We don't have to roll anything for that. I mean, these people are here for this. There's no need to convince them of anything, or be quick or nimble, or um, overpower them, anything like that. So you face no obstacle.
Excellent.
Egg salad.
Yuck.
I'm just casually walking around, but I'm also hungry.
Okay.
So I'm actually getting ready to talk to the bartender to find out what options might be available.
They have various types of humans.
I'm actually looking for one predisposed to heroin tonight.
Um, it's more expensive, but you could have them provide that. It will take a little longer.
Yeah, I think we're gonna ride the white horse tonight.
All right. Um, so they let you know that they'll come and get you once the mortal is ready.
Perfect.
So do I see
So-
any? I'm sorry.
So you would see, like, eventually see Victor and Carlotta, especially if you happen to be, watch anywhere near, like, the so-called bartender. Um, you would be able to see them. Yeah, they're not, unless either of them are like trying to hide themselves from view. But I don't think.
Well, now that I feel much refreshed and stuff, I will go and intrude upon them when I see an opportunity to.
So before we do that, Ryan just came back. Um, Devil, if you want to chat with him a little about what you were doing on the way to Elise.
So yeah, after the whole text messaging back and forth, Jessica will look to the driver and say, "We need to stop by the phone store. I need a new phone." Joseph, you should get one too.
What is wrong with your phone?
Oh, just people are watching, always watching.
Very well, we'll get new phones.
They're always watching you.
So yeah, I will have them stop and pay for the phones in cash, and
And just to be clear, you're paying for Joseph's phone as well?
yeah, I'll pay for Joseph's phone as well.
Okay. Because this is kind of a normal expense for you, but for him it'd be
Yeah.
a more significant expense. So you're breaking your old phone and tossing it and activating the new one with Jessica?
I would write down all my have it contacts saved basically, but yeah.
Yeah, same.
Alright. So we'll cut back to Torin approaching Victor and Carlotta.
Here. Victor will be right back.
Well, then you should
Well-
talk to him then, huh?
Okay. Why, yes, my dear.
No, just play yourself with Torin approaching to talk to you.
Okay. Hello, Father Torin. How are you?
Oh, I just noticed Torin stepped away too. God damn it.
Damn it!
Back
Jessica,
to
go
us!
Elysium then?
Yeah, I guess we'll just cut to you guys arriving. So apparently, Torin and Victor and Carlotta all just stand there staring at each other while they wait for Mom's heroin feed to be prepared.
Awkward.
That awkward moment when they look at each other and go, "I'm hungry."
Feed me, Seymour.
So yeah, I suppose Joseph and I would arrive. Get out of the car. I'd thank Pilot for driving us, and give him a tip.
You know you pay me already, right?
Do I? I should remember that. But you always tip your driver.
I mean, I appreciate it. I just wanted. Should I wait here?
No,
Okay.
we'll call you. I'll call you. Go have some dinner or something nice. And she'll hand him some more money.
Okay. Alright, thanks. You have fun.
That I will. Oh, I just realized he's sanguine.
Who's dangling?
Pilot is sanguine.
Indeed, he is.
He's enjoying the pleasure of life.
As I enter Elysium, I rouse my blood for a power storyteller.
Ooh.
Okay.
See? I told you he's a troublemaker.
As you activate the blood, it activates your beast.
Uh-oh.
And it's whispering, time to eat.
Not yet. I have a more fun game to play.
But we're hungry.
We're not that hungry. You're just being a baby. Trust me, you'll like this game.
Only if it involves blood.
It involves something else you like more. Well, probably not more, but you'll like it.
So what are you doing?
I activate demontation.
What are you doing with it?
Nothing yet. It's active through the scene.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, then I at least go into Elysium.
Sure, why not? I'd go.
You see Torin, Carlotta, and Victor all staring at each other by the bar.
Those guys are weird.
I know.
Are they blinking? Can you tell?
They are not. Well, actually, Carlotta is blinking. The other two are not.
Who's not blinking?
I was trying to cut back to the three of you at the bar, but realized that Bob stepped away, and then realized that you also stepped away. So we left you three all just silently staring at each other at the bar, not blinking, except for Carlotta.
So, when Jessica comes up, I do the major pain blinky at her, like I'm waking up when they tried to catch him in the bed.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, damn, you're too young. Never mind. Yes, I flutter my eyes at her when she comes up.
Oh, hey, he blinked.
Hello.
Hello.
I smile with a hint of sadness.
Sorry it took so long. Had to make a stop. Oh, you having a good night?
I am sustaining myself. And you? And any doorknob friends?
Pretty good. My doorknob friends are always, wonderful. And Don seems to be liking his new post. Also, Bob is ecstatic to be a new front door.
So where's Joseph?
I'm right here.
Right here.
Oh, you walked up with Jessica? Sorry.
Yes, I did.
How are you, Father Torin?
I'm okay. Are we all satisfied with the profit?
I think
Yeah,
it'll work.
I might even have my new friend, come try to work there at some point. Well, maybe. I haven't quite decided what to do with her.
Teeming with possibilities.
Ron the Knob would be welcome there. That is the new friend you're referring to?
No. Ron wants to be in a basement. It wouldn't work.
We're gonna have a basement.
Yeah, but he likes my basement.
Yeah, to be fair, you got Ron from Victor. It might be a little outdated as a knob to be sufficient for what we're gonna.
Yeah, probably won't have my new friend though come work there because I'm thinking politics.
Yeah, isn't your new friend like 16?
Yeah.
You realize she'd need to be at least 21 to work at our shop, right?
Shh, I can wait.
That's just one ID card away.
I was just gonna say, Aunt Jessica, with your resources, that's not gonna be an issue. It could be an issue, but it doesn't have to be for you.
Doesn't
I-
have to be.
I'm just saying, 16-year-olds today look like the 25-year-olds of my day. So, and I'm pretty sure more from Bob's day.
Oh, damn.
Love you.
I believe you and I are nearly of an age, aren't we?
I'm 47.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I know you're a bit older than me if you are married to Mom, who fathered Finn. Mother, sorry.
Many odd things are happening here.
Yep.
I'm not following this conversation. Can I go get something to drink?
Yes, you can. And if it helps, you guys are all to me.
You know what's a little funny? Do you ever imagine our out of character comments are the voices in Jessica's head?
I have been playing it that way the entire time.
Alright. Well, if no one is doing anything interesting, I'm gonna find James Garrett, storyteller.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
No.
Oh dear.
You're able to find him okay, but he is engaged in not like a heated conversation, but like a lively conversation. There we
Do I recognize who he's talking to?
go. It's a couple of the other Primogen, Annabelle, and who's the one that I'm thinking of? Hold on.
What clan?
And are you finding any of us before you do this?
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah, he left us because we weren't doing anything.
Yep.
The Bruja.
Oh, Critus.
Critus. There we go.
Then I'm going to walk up.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
What? Critus is there. Technically, he's my Primogen.
Yes.
Can any of the rest of us see this?
Yeah. I mean, well, Joseph, do you just kind of slip away quietly, or do you say something before you walk away?
I don't really say anything, but I don't particularly, try to move away in a way that they wouldn't notice me.
Okay, so yeah, you guys catch it as long as you're not like totally fucking distracted. Right about this time, Mom, or I should say, Carlotta, you are notified that your drink is.
Sweet. I'm following the bartender now.
It's actually not the bartender; it's a different staff, but they do lead you to where you can feed. I'm not sure what your hunger is at, but as long as you leave this person alive, which I highly recommend that you do, you can satiate up to 2 points of hunger.
Kill her.
Okay. I definitely leave her alive. For a little bit about interests that she has. Some of her musical choices may not be mine, but it's all good. And then I guess I'll have to roll because I'm going to go ahead and wipe this memory.
Why are you wiping her memory?
No, just the memory of me feeding.
Right, but why? Like,
Oh,
this is
that's
what
true.
she's
We're
here
at
for.
Elysium. True, we're at Elysium.
Yeah, you are not supposed to use powers here.
I apologize. So I enjoy a respite. We're down to 1.
Also, you're fucked up on heroin shortly after this.
You might start to see things the way Jessica does.
I have become comfortably numb.
So you should kill her.
Okay, so I don't know a lot about heroin. Can anybody kind of help me with like how this is going to affect her?
Well, with humans, there's some nausea and the naughty. With vampires, I think it'd be blunted some. You'd only be looking at little bit of extra tranquility.
Really?
That's
The
not how that
paranoia
works.
or
You're going to be affected by the effects of these drugs.
Well, then I'm puking my guts out, and then I'm going to be dosed. It's kind of
Docile.
a nodding.
So I'll say that you're not quite like falling asleep, but it's like you took like sleeping medicine and you're trying to keep yourself awake. You're
Mhm.
slurring, you're out of it.
Yep, I'm putting baby in the corner here.
Is there a reason you chose heroin of all things?
I think that's her poison of choice.
She misses it.
Really? Not even a little bit, you jackwad.
I'm like, there was no hesitation there.
Yes, I did try it. No, it wasn't a love affair of mine. However, I think when I had to have a flaws, that's hopeless addiction to drugs, it says. Although, you know what? We could go with Coke on this.
Too late now.
It also could just be any drug.
Yeah,
that.
because like I don't think you've typically been preying on people on heroin before. That's why I was kind of surprised that you guys came here to uh essentially like rally people and you got fucked up on heroin.
That's true. That was a short-sightedness apparently on my part.
So, I'm approaching Critus, James Garrett, and Annabelle.
Indeed you are.
just gonna go get a drink and watch? It's got nothing to do with me.
Ah, good to see you, James.
Oh, Joseph. Always a pleasure.
Of course. It's good to see you getting along with your fellow primogens here.
Well, I do have to work side by side with them for the good of the kindred. He flashes a blinding smile.
Oh yes, the good of the kindred. I definitely agree with you there. Of course, all those things they've been saying about you.
You talking to Garrett, right?
Yes. Am I rolling something against what you're doing here?
Composure and intelligence. Alright. So, conversation continues as normal.
Yeah, he kind of raises an eyebrow after you say it, and he was like, well, everybody has an opinion. But time will show where my intentions lay.
Of course, of course. I'd just hate for anybody to be thinking that you didn't really earn what you have.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
He takes 6 superficial willpower damage. Possibly more, since it looks like he critically failed.
Yeah, he did.
He is now our puppet
So-
in the Primogen.
You see him sweat a little bit, like little beads of sweat starting to break out on his brow, and his brow furrows a little bit. Go ahead and drive it forward a little bit because you got a messy critical here, right? So, and he critically failed. So, go ahead.
Well, real quickly, how much willpower does he have? Because if I've taken all of his superficial, or if I've done all of his boxes in willpower, I need to know.
He has one more.
Thank you. Of course, that is the whispers going around. How could a caitiff be in this position? He didn't earn this position. I mean, James, what did you do to earn this position?
No.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of potential. A lot of caitiff don't even get this opportunity, and this is where I can show what I can do.
I am going to roll again. Do I get any bonus for my messy critical or anything?
You can have 2 automatic successes.
Oops, hit the wrong button. As I take his last super wish of willpower, I am allowed to give him a compulsion.
Alright, what compulsion are you giving him?
I want to overwhelm him with paranoia about how he achieved his position.
Alright, seems like you've set this up pretty well to instill that kind of fear.
This is awesome.
But there's nothing to worry about, please. Continue your conversation. And with that, I simply go walking away at this point.
Okay. Everyone kind of looks Critus and Annabelle, that is, kind of look a little bit stunned. You kind of faintly hear Annabelle reassuring him as you're walking away. But if you were to look back, you would see Critus staring at you thoughtfully as you walk away.
Who's staring at him?
Critus.
The Bruja Primogen. Unrelated. I need to have a side scene with you.
That's fine. Critus
Also, I lied, and it is related.
Critus is a philosopher. This will be an interesting conversation.
It will. I need to put a little thought into it.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yes.
Who's Annabelle?
Annabelle is the Toreador Primogen
Thank you.
that Mom has talked to.
That was freaking awesome. But I tell you, my relationship chart was exactly right with Joseph.
You guys go ahead and chat with each other a little bit. I just want to jot down a couple notes.
I believe Garrett now knows the sound of one hand clapping.
I mean, didn't he before?
So we should probably discuss briefly what you want me to do when I escort Veronica to the monthly meeting.
Here? That doesn't
We're in a private area, right?
No.
Oh, I thought
Here.
normally you get the private booth. Sorry.
You guys, I believe, are basically all by the bar still.
Okay.
Let's just talk about top secret stuff right here. No.
Well, then we need to go have a discussion as a group somewhere more discreet.
Apparently, Victor needs to give Father Torin some post-hypnotic suggestions as well.
I've already been corrupted by the church. You can't suggest anything else that would surprise me.
Little boys.
This has nothing to do with the altar boys.
Did you know they let altar girls in now?
So about this time, Joseph rejoins the little party.
As I join them, keep an eye on James Garrett. He seems a little unstable tonight. And who knows, he might slip and reveal something that we need.
Carlotta starts to come back to herself. She did not partake a lot. She's not feeling great, but
Yeah, that's a question. How fast do vampires recover from something like that?
Until she has the blood out of her system, so after she is basically roused enough blood that it's out.
So yeah, I pay attention a little more to Garrett's party from just observing it based on Joseph's words when he comes back to for as long as I'm in the area.
All you can really tell from a distance is that his body language doesn't seem as confident as usual. He seems to be kind of drifting around as if he's like trying to be involved either be involved or overhear as many conversations as he can.
So Oblivion Sight is the one that allows me to see from the shadows, correct? But not here.
I'd have to look at it. I don't recall off the top, from the top of my head.
Not that I would actually do it in here, because we're not supposed to use our powers in here.
Indeed.
You're not supposed to get caught, let's be specific. Oblivion Sight, cost-free on activation, user becomes supernaturally attuned to darkness, allowing them to ignore all low-light penalties, including those of supernatural origin. They still need their eyes to see and are affected by blindfolds and the like as usual. So no, what this really does is it lets you see ghosts and see in the dark way.
Just out of curiosity, if I activate that power, is it noticeable by anyone to know that
Close their eyes upon opening their irises, turn black against white. Yeah, your eyes change.
Yeah.
Because I would love to know if ghosts or anything are hunting around in here to know if they are spying on us or the rest. Somehow the people pass information around here. I'd be interested to know if there's invisibility or anything going on.
Torin doesn't even know who the Hecatar yet are, but he assumes they're spying on us.
I mean, I thought I was a Malkavian.
So yeah, the next time we have a group conversation in private, I'm going to activate that just to see what I see.
I'm just gonna use see the unseen, and
Yeah,
see the unseen.
because I'd be interested to, I've had little use to do stuff like that, and I should probably become more familiar with my abilities since we're about to start trouble on a princely level.
So I'm gonna look over at Bob. Victor, perhaps it's time you address your clan.
Yes, I think that would be a very good idea. And he gets up and begins to perambulate around, and any of his clan members that he sees, he kind of gives them a nod and points them over. There are private booths or private rooms here, right?
Yeah, there are. There are some that you can even basically like reserve on demand as long as one is available.
Okay, excuse me. All right, well, that's the first thing Victor does. Is he goes and checks with whoever he would have to check that with, see if there is a room available.
There is like a staff member who stands near like the hallway of rooms, like basically at the beginning of the hallway, and he lets you know that there is a few rooms available of various sizes.
Oh, very good, my good man. You would be so kind as to hold a room for me. I'll be back directly with a few friends.
What size room would you need?
Oh, one that can hold 10 to 12 people. Not something overly large.
I have one that could hold 15.
Perfect.
All right, you'll be in D.
Excellent. Thank you.
Of course.
And then Victor proceeds to go around and all the Ventru that he can find. He just tells them simply, meet me in room D.
Just you and your venture, right?
Yes.
D
Okay.
for doorknob.
Do what?
I said D is for doorknob.
So, most of the Ventru will show up at your request, and so you end up having about a dozen people in the room.
Okay. Well, friends, I believe it's time that we had a discussion about the future of our clan. And the fact that that person, James Garrett, has been made primogenitor of his clan, and yet here we, the Ventru, are still clanless, without Primogen?
One of the guys, that's like farther towards the back, speaks up. He doesn't even have a clan.
And that is exactly part of what I'm referring to, but perhaps you could expound upon this for the brothers here, brothers and sisters who may not be aware of this.
Well, I think we're all aware he's a caitiff, a clanless vampire, cast off, no home, and yet he's on this council that's meant to represent the best interests of the various clans.
Thank you, and that, my friends, is exactly the crux of the matter here. Our so-called prince has insulted us very gravely, and I believe we need to redress this grievance, and we should make a united stand.
Another venture, a woman speaks up. We do have the prince representing us, though. It's not as if we have no representation in the politics of Chicago.
Oh, my dear, I can assure you that if we have the prince representing us, we have no representation in the politics of Chicago. Our prince is more interested in what benefits our prince as opposed to our clan.
I would like you to roll subterfuge and manipulation.
Any modifiers?
Nope. Okay, noted. You see a couple eyebrows raised in the room. The woman who spoke up doesn't look terribly happy with you. But a couple other people in the room are kind of nodding. You think that you might have some people kind of leaning towards what you say. But you may have also pissed off a couple people in speaking so directly against the prince.
Well, I see a few of you here seem dubious as to what I'm saying here. You seem to think that the prince actually cares about us as a clan. Feel free to speak your mind if you find something wrong with anything I've said so far this evening. If I'm mistaken, I will gladly be willing to become more learned in our prince's ways.
Well, you seem to be suggesting that he doesn't look out for the good of the kindred. We are part of that kindred. I don't think the prince would act against the venture in any way.
But I see the mistaken idea you have here, my dear, that the kindred writ large and the Ventru are one and the same, and I can assure you, in our prince's mind, they are not. He may be watching out for the kindred in general, but we have no one to speak for us specifically, and our prince does not have necessarily the Ventru's best wishes at heart.
Another person speaks up. You haven't even been in Chicago until recently. What is to make us think that you're looking out for the interests of the Ventru here? I think I'd rather place my bet with the prince who's been here all this time.
I may have been recently repatriated to Chicago, but I assure you that as a true son of Loden, which no one else here, I believe, has that distinction, I assure you that
A couple people speak up to say, don't you know your family?
yes, and I know they were brought low by vile subterfuge and deception. And I assure you those wrongs will be redressed. But if you know that much of my family's history, you also know that friends of my family were treated very, very well.
A very
That was right.
large man steps forward. And he is holding a cigar, smoking it. And he just looks kind of down at you. He's rather tall. And he's just like, I also come from the same blood. I know much of it. But I'm not sure that I know I can trust you.
Fair enough, my good man. I realize, as has been pointed out, I am recently repatriated to the city, as I've said. Perhaps when you've gotten to know me, you'll see that I am a man of my word. I have friends here that do know me and will vouch for me. And believe me when I tell you that I have nothing but the best wishes of our clan at my heart.
Yeah, I mean, everyone can find somebody that'll speak to their character. That doesn't interest me. I don't care to know your friends. Give me something concrete here. What are you bringing to us? How are you going to advance us?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. We've I and my friends are currently on assignment, ironically enough, from the prince to uncover a plot that was threatening to break the masquerade, among other things. And also, there seems to be another clan that is attempting to disrupt the peace we have here in Chicago. And we are working very diligently right now to break that plot.
Hello, Cappy. People kind of frown as you say there's a clan that is disrupting things, and a couple people. What clan? Whom do you speak?
Must I spell it out? The Tzimisce. They seem to be trying to infiltrate our fair city here, and putting their needs above those of the other clans and above the kindred in general.
Cappy, go ahead and do a rouse check, and then Bob, go ahead and give me a manipulation and persuasion.
Can I aid him to give him advantage?
No, because you're not there.
You're not
None of us
there.
are there.
I know I'm being facetious.
Cappy, stop typing and do your rouse check.
I had to get my thing up, man. Give me a damn minute.
Hurry up! So, Victor, you continue to kind of have a bit of a divided room, but you feel like you're winning over a little more than you're driving away. People are definitely curious at this point. You are starting to get peppered with questions, though. You have evidence. So, what do you mean, the Tzimisce? What's going on? These kinds of things are kind of all flying at you from different directions.
Well, my friends, it will be shortly made clear, but as some of you have reservations about me, I don't know that a full disclosure of everything at this particular juncture would be wise. The prince does have ears everywhere. And he looks pointedly at that one woman who looked at him, who was rather angry with him. Or is that right? She was angry.
She is angry that you're speaking against the prince, yeah.
But if any of you, well, perhaps if I brought in some of my associates, we could make things a bit clearer for you.
Horatio steps like a little bit closer again. He's like, oh, what are you really asking for here?
At this juncture, actually, what I'm asking for is support me to be our primogen. It's been far too long since we've had true representation on the council. And as no one else has stepped forward to take that position. And it's sorely needed. I feel I should have that position.
Horatio moves in a little bit closer and kind of ducks his head a little bit to be closer to your ear, and he's like, you realize many of us have not chosen to step up because it could be seen as a particular challenge to the prince. Or maybe not challenge, but a threat to the prince. And I have to say, the way that you are phrasing many things here, it feels rather antagonistic towards him. I would tread carefully. I'd be willing to back you as Primogen, but I'm not here for a coup.
Oh no, sir. I assure you, I have no plans for that. I simply wish to see the Ventrue take their rightful place on the council, and perhaps if I seem to have become overheated in my remarks, it's not treason against the prince that causes me to speak thusly. It's simply an overabundance of fervor for the betterment of our clan.
Alright, I want you. Words. I want you to give me one more persuasion and charisma roll. And I want to clarify real quick. He was kind of whispering in, saying that quietly to you, but do you still it sounded like you projected that answer to the room. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and make that roll. So at this point, it seems like we've at least resolved the anger that you could feel in the room. Not everybody, looks overjoyed at being here, but at the very least, you don't sense like hostility in the room anymore. And the woman that originally was a bit angry with you, that spoke out, she speaks up again to say, I would like to meet the people that you're working with. They may be bought into speaking well for you, but I do like to see who somebody surrounds himself with before I make any decision about working with him or her.
Oh, understood, my dear. If you would all mind waiting here a moment, I shall go and find.
You get some nods and murmurs throughout the room of generally, people are accepting of a short wait.
All right. Victor leaves the room, and the first one he tries to find is Joseph.
Joseph's chilling over by the bar. His work is done for now.
Well,
I'm
let's
just-
make this easy instead of one by one. Is everybody generally still over by the bar? Or did anybody...
I have no idea where I'm at currently.
We're going
don't
to say
know.
that you
I
came
was-
in...
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Cappy, we're going to say that you came in while Bob was having this meeting and met up with whoever is at the bar. Devil, please go ahead.
I'm not quite sure where I was because I was going to get a drink while Joseph was doing his thing, which never really got covered. But yeah, I was going to a private place with a person, basically.
Oh, I just assumed that you went ahead and did that, because kind of the
Okay.
same thing. Like, you're paying for somebody who's here for exactly this. You don't need to roll anything for like, unless you're doing something real wacky in there. You're able to just feed. So you really only have to let me know if you're like doing something extreme.
Consider my hunting tip.
Well, yes.
Wacky
Okay,
how?
fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and do a persuasion and charisma.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
And I would like to point out that I would specifically have requested a young woman.
Okay.
Oh, should have 2 more dice. Sorry. I don't know how to do it. Hold on.
That's okay. You rolled enough, honestly.
Okay.
So you were able to have fun with them before you take your drink.
Okay. Just making sure everything is a-okay, and I have a very happy glass.
Indeed. Your drink is very happy.
Yeah. So I guess it would also be up to you whether I'm available or not when this happens. So, because there is a bit of process length to that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's honestly kind of up to you how much you want to draw that out. Especially 2 women, like, there's not as final of an ending point, I
That's
guess.
true. Yeah, it might be awkward finding me at this moment.
Okay, so we'll say that you're out of the way, but outside of that, the group, unless anybody speaks up now, the group is generally available at the bar.
Yep.
Sounds good.
I'm watching James Garrett while he's there.
Yep.
What is he doing at this moment?
It's pretty much the same thing that I told Torin earlier. I think it was Torin. Of, like, he kind of keeps, like, floating around the room, trying to overhear or get involved in like, if he hears his name, it seems like, well, I guess you probably can't tell that from a distance, but it seems like he's trying to hear as many conversations as he can and kind of inserting himself into some of them.
Do any of the other kindred he's doing that to look frustrated?
I mean, there's a general, like, variety of reactions, but it does seem like there are some people who are, like, maybe annoyed or frustrated or, like, kind of general what the fuckery response.
Any bigwigs that I might know that he's done this to?
I mean, he has made a point of speaking to pretty much all of the Primogen at least a couple times.
So which of them look annoyed?
Critus definitely looks annoyed. Hold on, I gotta look up all their names. Sun seems curious more than anything. And Rosa seems annoyed, but the rest seem pretty okay. Actually, hold on, let me check one more thing in my notes. Okay, yeah, I got it right. Okay, so that's what you see. So, Victor, you can see all of the group kind of gathered at the bar, with the exception of Jessica. She is absent. And Carlotta looks like she has seen better days.
As well.
Wow.
Just in time. Who do you surround yourself with Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Who do you surround yourself with? Well, there's the crackhead. There's the paranoid, sneaky guy. There's the Gangrel. And wait, where's the Malkavian? Maybe not introduce her anyway.
All that good roleplay, Victor, and you're about to get torpedoed by us being us.
What's wrong with us being us? I'm just sitting at a bar.
Us in general. It'll
Me
be
too.
fun.
I'm just sitting at a bar with my head on the bar.
Oh, sorry, I had a sneezing fit.
Bless you.
Joseph. Thank you. Joseph, would you and Father Torin come with me if you aren't too busy?
What can I do for you, my friend?
I suppose.
I've gathered some Ventru together and been having a discussion with them, and they would like to meet you before they support me in my bid for Primogen. And I have discussed with them slightly what we are working on as far as someone trying to break the masquerade, and that the Zemisi are trying to cause trouble in our fair city. And
Was he by me when he said Zemisi or no?
was I what?
I was wondering, because I'm at the bar as well. I was wondering if you were also together, if you moved off when you said Zemisi.
Yeah, I raised my eyebrows at the fact that you would have even said that to anyone.
Because I'm nearby, I hear that, I kind of raise a brow like, what the hell?
I am at your service, good sir. And I try to imitate his southern drawl as he says it. With a slight bow.
I thought Mom's impression was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
And frankly, Victor, I got better. I'm insulted that you did not request me to go with you.
You're not really better.
Please, my dear, have another drink.
Redirection! She's gonna be mad at you when she figures that out later.
Yeah, she won't figure it out later.
So I stand up and make myself ready to go with Victor when he goes.
I go with him.
I'd go as well.
No, you don't.
So you guys not buying me, or you prevent me from going, or?
He only invited me and Torin.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Must miss that part.
I mean, he came and talked to all of you, so like, he technically can't stop you from like following them. But yeah, you weren't.
I could hold back and do what I've been planning on doing, which is going somewhere private, summoning some rats and giving them some instructions.
So you're leaving Elysium?
No, not yet. I'll stick around for there. I can do that later. I mean, I'll try to follow the group, but
You want to follow me?
I ain't going nowhere with the Malkavian. He doesn't like Malkavian very well.
So, I make a comment to Victor and Joseph, relatively quiet, given my clan's past in relation to the Zemisi and the Sabbat. Is it wise for you to introduce me to as
Yes.
vouching for your character?
Yes, you're an expert in them.
Exactly, my friend.
So, out of character note here, just to remind you, Torin, your particular bloodline has been known for being aligned with the Camarilla. So,
Sure,
you're kind of an expert.
sure. I
Now,
just didn't want. I'm talking about the initial general reaction when they find out, or when they see that I'm Lasombra. You know, they won't
Yeah.
necessarily discriminate between my actual bloodline versus the fact that I'm a Lasombra.
correct.
Well, I mean,
But I'm
that's-
telling
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
Thank you. I was just telling you that so that you kind of understand what your actual exposure is to Sabbat stuff. Right, because you may not be quite as comfortable as other Lasombra in answering questions about the Sabbat because your bloodline hasn't been as involved, but you're not oblivious of it because you do talk to other Lasombra, right? Like, you don't only talk to your bloodline. So you may not know quite as much as others, but you could certainly play it off to anybody who doesn't know, like, who your sire is particularly, that you are more of an expert.
Okay.
And the question I had, I mean, is it noticeable that he is, Lasombra, or I mean, or would he just generally be kind of generic kindred when they first meet him?
I mean, in general, you don't necessarily just know what clan someone belongs to outside of, like, the Nosferatu. And I guess there's some bloodlines that stand out quite a bit. And Tzimisce are honestly usually pretty noticeable as well. But most of the clans, oh, and I guess Gangrel can kind of stand out. But overall, generally, like, it's not super distinguishable what clan someone belongs to, but there is kind of the factor here of, like, word of mouth, right? So people have probably seen Torin talking to the Lasombra. People may have an idea, like, if they've seen him around Elysium or talked to people who know him, they may know that he's Lasombra. It's not a huge secret, but it's not something that they're just going to know.
On top of that,
No one will
Torin-
figure out that I'm Malkavian.
But on top of that, Torin casts no actual reflection. Honestly, that's how anybody ever really figures out anybody else's clan. You just know some of the telltale things that they do or that's wrong with them. Lasombra don't cast a true reflection. It's also why he can't use technology. It doesn't pick him up. He doesn't reflect into it.
Oh, okay.
So the question I would have as a group then, if we are trying to utilize the clan trying to break the masquerade, would it be better for Victor to introduce the entire group, showing a variety of clans standing with him? Or do you want to start small and move into that?
You realize one just did a bunch of heroin and is barely staying conscious at the bar. The other is apparently plotting against us, even though it's a horrible idea. And Jessica's feeding.
Even though she doesn't really need to.
Okay. So, yes, it would be Joseph and Torin would be the most presentable at this point in time, right?
Yeah, that was my thought.
Okay. Do you need us to be aware of anything prior to stepping in to meet your class, other than what you've told us?
There are several that seem to be leaning my way. There's one woman, and I describe her to them. I'm not sure about her, but she seems to be in the prince's camp rather solidly. We must keep an eye on that one. Rick, perhaps you could help with that.
I can help out with that, sure.
I'd like you to stay here and just keep an eye on things and see if you can keep Lady Carlotta out of trouble.
Alright, I don't expect her to get in much trouble, but I'll keep an eye on her and other things. I don't think anything's gonna happen, but you never can tell.
Yes, well, as far as Lady Carlotta, I'm more worried about someone trying to take advantage of her in her position, or in condition, I should say, at the moment. But
In her condition?
yeah, she's stoned out of her gourd.
I didn't know we could get stoned out of our gourd.
And 17 months pregnant.
Yeah, she 17 months pregnant. No, she's oh yeah, she's high on heroin at the moment.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep an eye on her.
Hi, Joseph, Father Torin, this way, please. And Victor leads him back to room D.
I follow discreetly behind.
And as you guys step in, people are milling about a little bit. You know, you can tell people have been kind of chatting, you know, since you left the room. But as the door opens up, attention quickly focuses back on you guys.
Well, friends, if you wish to meet some of the people that I associate with, these are two close friends of mine, Joseph Audley and Father Torin. By the way, does Father Torin have a last name?
Not that he's shared.
Okay.
Torin. His first name's Father.
It's been the thing this whole time. His actual first name is Father.
I nod politely to his group. And whatever the appropriate greeting to a venture would be, that's what I give.
So
A
you
lot of
give a lot
handshake.
of money.
So is
or
this
that.
so is this like a stock exchange or something, Victor?
In what way, Joseph?
Well, I mean, you came in here to tell all these people about how you're going to protect them from the threat, right? Yeah,
Yes.
none of them seem even a little bit worked up.
Well, they wished to meet some of the people that I associate with, Joseph. Perhaps you could fill them in more detail and get them in the proper mind frame. I was admittedly a bit circumspect in the nature of the threat.
Alright, I'll look over the group of them. I'm sure some of you know exactly who I am. And you know that I don't really stand for the same things. Have no interest in any of your politics, really. But
There's several eye rolls through the room.
But there is one fact that's undeniable. I don't really want to die. None of you really wanted to die. Well, want to die, that's why you're here now. And the reality is, we have proof the Sabbat has been infiltrating the city.
The Sabbat? What? What? Bunch of, you know, comments start popping up.
through a series of investigations that we have been doing, we've come to find at least somewhat of a Sabbat incursion, but I have reason to believe it's bigger than what we've already seen.
The woman that Bob mentioned steps up and she says, well, why don't we bring this to the prince? Surely the prince would be interested in taking care of that.
I have no doubt that the prince would be interested in taking care of that. The reality is that we've already established a bunch of agents and such within their organization now, and are rooting things out. And this is why this man should be your Primogen. This man has already taken action against your enemies.
Can you go ahead and roll me persuasion and charisma? Actually, more manipulation.
How? I'm not lying.
I mean, manipulation isn't necessarily lying. Like, you're trying to... I guess, like, you can make an argument either way. If you want to use charisma, that's fine. I just feel you've been more like, ooh, this is why you should back us, instead of like, you should be my friend.
I'm going to rouse my blood to raise my charisma by a dot.
I didn't know we could do that.
Yep. The beast is getting hungry. Your hunger goes up again.
Three successes. I could only re-roll one of those dice if I blow a willpower. I'll blow a willpower.
Okay.
Okay, didn't change anything. I have 3 successes.
Sorry. So overall, the vibe of the room has definitely shifted. Still not everybody's on your side, probably, but people you definitely have their attention now.
Did you have anything more to add, Joseph?
I've given my message.
Very good. Father Torin, is there anything you wish to say?
Other than making my acquaintance with you, sir, I have learned that he does have the interest of not only his clan, and I motioned to the people in the room, but of the kindred as a whole, which is why I believe I can help, especially given the threat of what Joseph just mentioned.
Let's just have fun with it. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion and charisma as well.
Persuasion and charisma?
Yes, please.
If you need to raise your charisma, you can rouse your blood.
I'm okay.
Holy fucking Jesus. Alright.
Roar!
Nice.
I put preacher mode on.
Would you like to add anything to your speech now that you know that you messy critical like fucking hell?
I've become very good at reading individuals in our fine city, blah, 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 blah. And Victor is among those that I consider to be a friend. and I think that I'm pretty good at finding false narratives around me. I think that you should support him because, yeah, he's definitely got the interest of all of us, even if indirectly.
After Father Torin speaks, there's a lot more nodding around the room. People seem to like what he's got to say. You guys kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask out of character. So what are the mechanics of actually me becoming Primogen? What do I need to do?
I mean, there's not exactly mechanics, but you are basically going to go through something similar to what James did, basically. You're generally going to try to drum up support, starting with the venture is good, but they're probably going to hold a vote like they did with James, which means that you need other Primogens that are willing to vote for you as well. And there's a chance that they'll be opening it up for discussion again, which means that generally you need to have supportive people if you want to pull this off. So there's probably going to be more scenes like this, where you're kind of talking to people. You guys may want to gather the power of your coterie to essentially campaign for you, right? Remember, James had flyers and events and all kinds of bullshit, right? So you're playing a political game here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I need.
One thing to consider too is Horatio gave you a good warning, right? The prince may feel threatened by this, especially if you're not careful with some of your language. So that could be an interesting side scene for us if you're interested, where you can try to curry the favor of the prince to alleviate that suspicion.
And I'm not sure what you mean about me not being careful with my language.
You know exactly what I mean.
Damn, I tried to pull that one off.
It wasn't terrible. The problem is just that, you know, you don't fully know the room. You don't know who's more aligned with the prince or not.
And you never use that keyword Sabat.
Yes, also that. That was part of the reason there was like confusion of like, what? A clan? What? This is a sect war. This isn't just clans. This is a sect war.
Oh, okay.
So you guys kind of mill around for a few minutes, but people are generally starting to kind of head out. A handful of people stop by to talk to you, Victor. Like basically as they're on their way out, a couple shake your hand and they're like, yeah, I mean, somebody who, is watching out for the city like this is somebody that, I would back, or, it's good to see the venture stepping up, various comments like that. Not everybody stops by. And the lady just kind of leaves the room. She doesn't say anything. And there's a couple other people who just leave like that as well. And there's also a handful of people who basically tell you that they're going to think on this and they'll let you know in coming nights.
Well, I appreciate you hearing me out and thinking about what I've said.
And eventually, all of them have filed back out to Elysium, leaving just the, three of you in the room.
Well, that was fun.
I want. Sorry, when everybody is of his clan is out of here, I do want to utilize my site just to make sure the room is really empty.
You can use your site, that's fine.
Woohoo.
It is empty.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, friends, I think we've made a very good start this evening. Perhaps we should go back to Rick and Miss Carlotta.
I will tell you now that I plan on leveraging our information with the Banu Hakim as well. And I feel we should win them over to your side.
That's your assassins, right?
They are assassins, yes.
They are not Ryan's or Joseph's assassins, though.
Yes, I think that that's an excellent idea, Joseph.
Good. Well, I think I've had enough of Elysium. Shall we gather them and leave?
I nod. I let my irises go back to normal.
That's a good idea. So I think by the time you guys finish this, Jessica should be out unless she's going for a freaking marathon here, but then she may be facing extra charges for hoarding her mortal for so long.
No, just you know, the one time, and that's it.
Just a quickie, and we're done.
Quickie is determinative. Quickie is relative to time, and time is relative to perception. That
Exactly.
sort of stuff. Yeah.
And relative to you.
Yes.
For you,
I'm
never a
relative to-
quickie, always a longie.
Time is very relative to me. I have many relatives named Time.
Oh boy.
Carlotta, are you able to walk?
Yes, yes.
She could fucking fly.
Did Carlotta, my dear, did you drive yourself this evening, or did someone drive you? I hope.
I indeed got a ride here.
Excellent.
Let's head out then.
Alright. Did everything go well?
I think it went relatively well tonight.
Good.
Father
Glad to hear.
Torn has a spring in his step.
She should. That was impressive.
Oh,
Jessica
silly.
was bringing her step.
Oh,
She
silly.
should as well.
I don't know about Victor trying to be primogen since I wasn't here earlier, correct?
Well, in general, you know about it. You don't
Okay.
know specifically about tonight. No.
Alright.
Jessica will, however, call Pilot and say she's ready to be picked up.
Oh, okay. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Lovely. Has Butler called you, asked you where the car is at by any chance?
Nope. Haven't heard from him.
Well, maybe he slept through it. We'll have to find a way to make him realize later. Oh well. So yeah, I'll wait for Pilot to bring the car.
Say, for my knowledge, Did we have a name for the lady that was openly disapproving of Victor's?
No, we didn't yet.
1 minute.
Bummer. I thought Joseph's assassins could go take care of her and we'd be done with her. I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking it's a good idea.
But if those that spoke against you start disappearing, it might look suspicious.
I don't care, sir.
I smile slightly at that, yeah.
You don't care about their feelings.
So the lady that was speaking up is Naomi Stewart.
Naomi Stewart.
Yep.
First, I shall have her dog killed.
I think perhaps we should check into her background just to find out more about her discreetly.
I take it she's not a fan of Victor.
Not a fan of what he had to say.
Ah.
Then she will wake up with a horse's head next to
But that would be Jessica's fault then, right?
Yes.
Perhaps Victor's tongue wasn't quite silver enough for the situation.
I believe, if I understood it right, this Naomi didn't even care from the get-go what you had to say. Others had, if my understanding is, they questioned your right to be primogen and that kind of thing, but this one just flat out like, no.
Well, not everybody's going to be for it, and some just as flat out don't give a shit, or
It's fine. I think we have the support we're going to need from the venture to start working on the rest of this.
I could try
Or
speaking
not.
to some of my gangrel, see if they'd support him.
Critus works at the college. I can't remember the college's name right now.
Critus is the gangrel?
No, he's the Bruja Primogen.
I'm sorry, yeah. He's the big guy, right?
No.
Nope, that was Horatio. Also, some of these people are actually in the Chicago book, so you can read about them if you want to, but you won't know that stuff in-game. So Naomi, you can find in there. Horatio, you can find in there.
Horatio was the big guy
Critus, yeah, Horatio's the big guy, yep.
that spoke to Victor.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So, unless you guys have anything else that you're trying to do, I feel like this is a pretty good place to call it.
Oh, I'm good.
Yep.
Sounds
Yeah, I'm good.
great. Carlotta has already found her ride and she's just about home.
Indeed, you all drive off into the cold, dark winter nights with
We
thoughts
drive off into
of
the sunrise.
not the sunrise. That'd be a
You
little
can
painful.
drive off into the sunrise. I
pre-sunrise.
like living.
The pre-sunrise.
And so next time we'll be coming together to take care of that monthly meeting. And we'll hear a little bit more about how much support Bob is able to drum up. Thanks for joining us. This is the Story Speakers Guild, bringing roleplay entertainment. We hope that you enjoyed Saturday by Night. We certainly enjoyed having you with us.
Have a good week.
Woo!
Night, everyone.
Next time will actually be a Valentine's Day thing. But yeah.
Oh, right. Reminder, we have a Friday night, Valentine's Day side scene, side quest extravaganza special I ran out of words. But yes, come join us 8 p.m. Central Time Friday night.
And may the good news be your news.
And we'll give you our hearts, torn straight from the chests of our victims.
We love you.